Right now, we have artificial intelligence that can talk you down from a panic attack better than a human therapist can.
Yeah, it's wild.
Right. And we have telescopes detecting whispers of helium 48 light years away. Yet a single hacker with a custom piece of code can shut down a city's water supply in, like, a matter of seconds.
It's a massive
Yeah.
contradiction.
Exactly. Welcome to today's deep dive. We are so thrilled you are here with us.
It is quite the paradox, isn't it? I mean, we are reaching these absolute peaks of technological achievement while our foundational systems just seem, well, more vulnerable than ever.
That is exactly what we are focusing on today. Our mission is to take this absolute mountain of updates from today, which is July 25, 2026, and synthesize them into a clear map for you, the learner.
Yeah, a map to really figure out where things are heading.
Exactly. We want to show you how our world systems are evolving, where they are straining, and, where they are actually succeeding. We are going to explore the collision of traditional human systems like classrooms and hospitals with this rapid tech advancement.
Which is happening so incredibly fast.
It really is. Then we'll examine the fragile state of our global infrastructure and eventually look to the stars. Okay, let's unpack this. We have to start with the foundation of our future, which is education.
Which is arguably ground zero for this whole collision between traditional policy and, well, new technology.
Absolutely. So let's look at the policy side first. Arkansas has been rolling out its 2023 Learns Act, and their 2026 ATLA state assessment scores just dropped.
And the numbers are pretty interesting.
Yeah. Overall proficiency climbed from 36.9% to 42.2%.
That's a solid jump.
Right. We are seeing math up 7.8 points to 44.2%. Science is up 8.4 points to 44%. And English rose 5.7 points to 39.5%.
Nice.
And even the lowest performance level dropped from 27.3% down to 23.1%. But the standout stat, the one that really caught my eye, kindergarten reading saw a huge jump, going from 50.2% to 66%.
Okay, I want to pause on those numbers for a second, because independent reporting does point out that a majority of Arkansas students are still, not scoring proficient overall.
Right, yeah, it's not perfect.
Exactly. So this isn't a mission accomplished moment. But I am looking at that kindergarten reading jump and, well, that does not happen by accident.
No, definitely not. State officials are directly attributing it to the Learns-funded high-dosage tutoring and phonics coaching. But this is what I don't get. If independent reports say the majority still aren't proficient, how is this a true success story?
I think it's because of the underlying mechanism. The trend is moving upward for the third straight year, specifically because they are using highly structured, human-led interpersonal approaches.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, phonics coaching requires an adult actively engaging with a child's cognitive process. They are essentially building the scaffolding for learning.
Contrast that methodical scaffolding with what is happening in the tech space, though.
Right, totally different story.
Yeah. On July 14, Anthropic launched Claude for Teachers, giving completely free premium access to all U.S. K-12 educators through June 2027.
Wow, all of them.
All of them. It generates lesson plans aligned to all 50 states. It's actually partnered with Learning Commons for that. It features education-specific privacy terms, and they even partnered with the American Federation of Teachers.
And, I mean, that is a brilliant distribution strategy to get their technology into schools. But what happens when you introduce a tool that does the thinking for you without building that cognitive scaffolding first?
Well, the Digital Education Council Global Survey for 2026 paints a pretty chaotic picture of exactly that.
I was looking at that survey. It's massive.
It is. It had 45,400 responses across 35 countries, and the adoption rates are just staggering. 88% of college students and 77% of faculty use AI.
It's ubiquitous now.
Completely. And sure, there are reported benefits, like 61% of students say they can focus more on thinking, and 31% are attempting harder work.
Yeah.
But the guidance gap is really alarming.
What's fascinating here is what that gap actually looks like in practice. Because 57% of students report they lack AI guidance.
Wow, over half.
Yeah, and only 29% believe their instructors are even equipped to help them with it. But the statistic that should really give every educator pause is this: 20% of college students, so 1 in 5, now struggle to retain material or do their work without AI.
That is wild.
It is. In the U.S. and Canada alone, over 70% of faculty worry it hurts critical thinking, to the point where faculty intent to use AI is actually falling.
It feels like we're handing students a superpowered calculator but haven't taught them the underlying math yet. I mean, how do we reconcile the success of Arkansas's human-led phonics coaching against this totally unguided AI adoption in higher ed?
I really think it comes down to friction. Learning requires a certain amount of productive friction. Arkansas is applying friction intentionally. They're forcing students to sound out words with human oversight.
Right, making them do the work.
Exactly. In higher education, AI is just removing the friction entirely. Students are generating answers without going through the cognitive struggle required to actually retain the information. The tech is just outpacing the governance.
And if AI is fundamentally changing how we learn, it's also, surprisingly, changing how we feel.
This was my favorite study of the week.
Oh, it's so interesting. On July 23, a study was published in the journal Emotion by the University of Manchester and Durham University. They took 12,233 participants and compared ChatGPT 4o, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and Gemini 1.5 Pro against human responses to stressful scenarios.
I read this, and the results completely challenged some of our most basic assumptions about, what it means to comfort someone.
Totally. The AI matched humans in responding to sadness, but here's the curveball. The AI actually outperformed humans in situations involving anger and fear.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought a human response would always win out in a crisis, right?
You would think so. But, let's look at how we naturally comfort each other. When someone is angry or afraid, human beings tend to default to general reassurance.
Right.
We say things like, I'm so sorry, or everything is going to be okay.
Right, just trying to calm them down.
But anger and fear are high arousal emotions. Your nervous system is essentially on fire. General reassurance doesn't give a highly aroused brain anything to actually latch onto.
But the AI does.
Yes. The AI provided specific, actionable guidance. Instead of just saying, it will be okay, the AI scripts out a step-by-step breathing exercise, or like a logical path forward. For a brain in a state of fear, that actionable advice provides a cognitive off-ramp.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though, because as good as the AI is at scripting that response, let's contrast it with Dave Whitlow.
Oh, this story got me.
It's beautiful. He's a 73-year-old retired grandfather in Richmond. For 8 years, twice a week, he's volunteered as an NICU cuddler at the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. He gowns up, puts on gloves, leaves his phone entirely behind, and holds up to 8 fragile, premature babies per visit. And he just whispers to each one, grow strong, grow smart, grow kind.
That's incredible.
Right. An AI might script the perfect breathing exercise, but it can't physically hold a premature baby in a hospital ward.
Which perfectly defines the boundary of the technology. Even the authors of the Manchester study noted that their results are simply a lesson in what makes support effective, meaning humans just need to learn to give more actionable advice.
Yeah, it's a template for us.
Right. It is not a case for replacing humans.
Yep.
An algorithm can diagnose a high arousal state, but only a human being can provide physical presence. Only a human can provide that tangible safety.
And while Dave Whitlow shows us the profound power of physical safety, out in the digital world, our safety nets are being, aggressively dismantled. Let's talk about the fragility of our digital infrastructure.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for IT departments.
Understatement. Mount Royal University in Calgary was just hit by a ransomware group called the CMD organization. They broke into a shared drive, stole passport scans and personal records, and then actually deleted the originals.
Just a nightmare scenario.
Absolutely. Now they are demanding $1.9 million in crypto. The university is offering 2 years of free credit monitoring, but, the bell has been rung.
This is a harsh IT lesson about architectural design, really. The problem here is the shared drive itself. If your backups are connected to the live system, ransomware will just encrypt or delete the backups along with the original files.
Because they're all tied together.
Exactly. The only way to survive this without paying the ransom is to keep offline backups of your shared drives.
And it isn't just universities facing these architectural failures. SonicWall just confirmed that hackers exploited 2 zero-day flaws in its SMA 1000 series VPN appliances.
Oh, this one is bad.
Yeah, a threat actor known as UTA0533 used custom malware to take him over. One of the flaws is literally a maximum 10 out of 10 severity.
Right. And for anyone not working in cybersecurity, we should probably clarify what a zero-day flaw actually means. It means the software creator has had literally 0 days to fix the vulnerability before hackers start exploiting it.
It's out in the wild immediately.
Yeah, it is an open door that nobody knew existed except the burglar.
And this particular 10 out of 10 flaw required absolutely no password to trigger. CISA flagged it immediately. Administrators have to patch, check logs, and reset admin passwords right away. But like a VPN is supposed to be the secure tunnel into your network.
Exactly. When your secure tunnel can be bypassed without even needing a password, your entire perimeter security is just an illusion.
And even when you think you have bulletproof authentication, attackers are finding ways around it. German and U.S. authorities just dismantled the Kratos phishing kit and arrested its Indonesian operator.
This was a highly sophisticated operation.
Yeah, this kit had 1,800 customers running 15,000 campaigns a month. They netted 300,000 euros since 2024. But the terrifying part is how it bypassed Microsoft 365 multi-factor authentication.
Right.
It actually captured live login sessions.
This is critical for people to understand. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is when Microsoft sends a code to your phone to prove it's you, right?
Yeah, the classic text message code.
Exactly. But the Kratos kit doesn't try to guess your password or your code. It acts as a middleman. When you type your code in, the kit passes it to Microsoft, Microsoft approves it, and hands back an active session token, which is basically a VIP wristband saying you are allowed in.
Wow.
And then the Kratos kit steals that VIP wristband.
I mean, a standard password reset against the Kratos kit is basically like changing the locks while the burglar's already sitting on your couch.
That is the perfect analogy. And if we look at Mount Royal, Sonic Wall, and Kratos, the pattern is undeniable. Convenience is the enemy of security.
Oh, for sure.
Shared drives, VPNs, keeping live authentication sessions active. These are all designed to remove friction and make our lives easier. But they create massive vulnerabilities. The fix requires structural, architectural changes, offline backups, revoking active sessions, and moving to physical security keys.
Now, looking at the geopolitical updates from today, we're seeing intense escalation on multiple fronts. And just to be very clear, as we map this out for you, our goal isn't to take a side or weigh in on the politics of these highly charged conflicts.
Right, absolutely.
We are not endorsing any viewpoints. We just want to look objectively at the structural facts on the ground right now based on the reporting. Because to understand where the world is heading, we have to look at how this digital vulnerability is bleeding directly into the physical world.
That is a vital context because the cyber attacks we just discussed are no longer just about stealing data or money. They are about physical control.
Right. 6 U.S. federal agencies, the FBI, CIS, NSA, EPA, and the Department of Energy, issued a joint warning that Iran-affiliated hackers are breaching U.S. water and energy facilities.
Which is terrifying.
It is. They're exploiting internet-exposed programmable logic controllers, or PLCs, from companies like Rockwell Automation, Schneider Electric, and Siemens to disable SASE shutoffs.
We should quickly define what a PLC is for the listeners. A programmable logic controller is basically the digital brain that tells physical machinery what to do.
Okay, so it translates the code.
Exactly. It is the bridge between a line of code and a physical water valve opening or closing. By targeting internet-exposed PLCs, these hackers are pushing physical machinery into dangerous states without the human operators even knowing.
And this cyber front is deeply entangled with actual physical conflict. The U.S. just carried out its 13th consecutive night of airstrikes on Iranian military targets, including command centers, drone facilities, and coastal surveillance.
13th night?
Yeah, a mid-June ceasefire agreement collapsed specifically over Iran's demand for control over shipping fees in the Strait of Hormuz. In retaliation, Iran struck U.S. allied Gulf states, including Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar.
And the ripple effects of this are just profound.
They really are. Iran's health ministry reports dozens dead and hundreds injured. Oil has passed $100 a barrel. Former President Trump is weighing larger strikes, while the U.S. House voted to require congressional approval for further action, though that measure actually failed in the Senate.
Right, so a lot of political maneuvering there.
Yeah. And this is all happening concurrently with severe strain on the ceasefire in Gaza.
Yeah, it has been 9 months since the U.S. brokered October truce there, and the facts on the ground show the agreement is really faltering.
Israeli strikes in early July killed at least 6 people. Israel states they are targeting Hamas fighters and militant infrastructure. Meanwhile, West Bank raids have resulted in dozens arrested amid rising settler violence. The negotiations over Hamas's disarmament and Gaza's reconstruction are in total deadlock.
Complete standstill?
Yeah, and the human cost is massive. The UN reports 1.7 million Palestinians are living in tents. Structurally, Israel is expanding a physical barrier and controls over half of Gaza, while Hamas denies any truce violations and accuses Israel of restricting vital aid.
You are looking at a prolonged state of structural and human strain on multiple borders simultaneously.
So what does this all mean when cyber warfare on local water systems in the U.S. becomes an active front in a global physical war?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it means modern conflicts have entirely erased the lines between the digital and physical domains.
They're just one and the same now.
Exactly. It makes resolution incredibly complex. We are living in a reality where the local safety shutoffs at your municipal water plant and the physical borders in Gaza or the Strait of Hormuz are part of the exact same global friction. The vulnerability isn't isolated, it is entirely systemic.
When the physical world feels this fragile and complex, you can actually see the psychological reaction in what we consume and what we strive for.
Oh, absolutely. It shows up everywhere.
Yeah. We instinctively look for victories, we seek out escapism, and we look beyond our own borders. So, let's pivot to some milestones that show what happens when human effort actually works. Cambodia has officially become the first country in Asia to achieve the UN's 95 targets for ending the HIV epidemic by 2030.
This is a huge deal. That means 95% of people with HIV know their status, 95% are receiving treatment, and 95% of those are virally suppressed. It is an astronomical public health achievement.
And they hit the earlier 90-90-90 goal back in 2017. Health Minister Professor Chang Ra credits community-led peer services for the success.
Which brings us back to the power of human scaffolding, right? Like we talked about with education, that wasn't solved by a single app or algorithm. It was solved by trusted community members doing the hard interpersonal work on the ground over decades.
Yes, human connection. We're also seeing tech companies finally remove some everyday friction for consumers. Google rolled out its Android 17 update today. I know. It includes a tool built in partnership with Apple to comply with the EU's Digital Markets Act that makes switching from an iPhone practically seamless.
That's usually such a headache.
It really is. But this moves your Wi-Fi credentials, eSIMs, encrypted RCS messages, either wirelessly or by cable. It works on the Pixel 8, 9, 10, and the new Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Flip 8. Oddly enough, though, Pixel 6 and 7 owners are completely excluded from the tool.
It's a fascinating look at forced interoperability. I mean, when regulators apply the right kind of pressure, these massive tech ecosystems can suddenly learn to play nicely together, removing friction for the user.
Notice a trend here. We crave friction being removed, and you see that exact same craving in our pop culture escapism today.
Oh, for sure.
The internet is buzzing because Paramount Plus dropped the trailer for Avatar 7 Havens at San Diego Comic-Con.
I saw that trending everywhere.
Yeah, it follows Korra's successor, an earthbender named Pavi. It premieres October 9, and it has sparked this massive debate over Korra's fate. Also, on Prime Video, Reacher Season 4, which is adapting the book Gone Tomorrow, hits August 12th.
I love that show.
It's so fun. And there's a Neegly spin-off debuting September 16th, and Season 5 is already filming.
Look at the underlying themes of what we are consuming, though. Avatar is entirely about a chosen figure restoring elemental balance to a chaotic world. Reacher gives us an unstoppable protagonist who resolves complex, messy problems definitively, mostly with his bare hands.
Right, simple solutions to big problems. We even want it in our music and sports. K-pop duo Super Junior 83Z's Liz and Heeshul just hit #1 on iTunes in 10 regions with their Promise EP, which features solo tracks, Jado Donnie and Bad Name.
Wow, 10 regions.
Yeah. And UFC Fight Night 282 is happening in Abu Dhabi. Magomed Ankalaev is facing Bogdan Guzkov after Khalil Roundtree Jr. withdrew.
Exactly. I mean, even in sports, we are tuning into controlled, rules-based combat with a definitive winner and loser. When our real-world headlines lack resolution, we just naturally seek out shared mythology and structured entertainment that provides it.
But I think the ultimate form of looking beyond our current situation came from an announcement in the journal Science today. Harvard's Colin Cherubim and his team confirmed the first known atmosphere on a rocky, habitable zone exoplanet.
This is a genuinely historic astronomical milestone. I got chills reading about this.
The planet is LHS 1140b. It is a super-Earth, roughly 1.7 times Earth's radius, located 48 light-years away. They used a telescope at Carnegie's Observatory in Chile and actually detected escaping helium during a transit.
Just incredible.
Detecting a wisp of escaping helium on a rock 48 light-years away is the ultimate needle in a cosmic haystack.
It defies comprehension when you really think about the scale. Now, to be clear, helium alone cannot support life, and there is no evidence of life on LHS 1140b yet.
Right, important caveat.
But what this proves is that small, rocky worlds can retain their atmospheres for billions of years. And an atmosphere is the absolute prerequisite for liquid water.
It is such a profound reminder of how expansive the universe is and our enduring drive to discover what is possible beyond our own fragile borders.
It really is.
But we have covered a vast amount of ground today, and we want to thank you, our learner, for joining us to map it all out.
And to leave you with one final thought based on everything we've explored today. Think about this. We are currently building artificial intelligence that can emulate our deepest empathy, and we possess telescopes that can literally read the air on a planet 48 light years away. Yet, our most critical earthly systems, from the shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz to our local water plants to the K-12 classrooms in Arkansas, are somehow more fragile than ever. The true challenge of the next decade won't just be inventing new tools. It will be learning how to govern, protect, and really find the humanity within the interconnected world we've already built.
The systems are definitely under strain, but by understanding exactly where the pressure points are, we learn how to reinforce the foundation. Stay curious, stay informed, and we will see you on the next deep dive.